What do Americans think of country caps for immigration? In Canada, people have been complaining about too much immigration from India and want to copy American country cap policy. E.g., you can see it in this comment section of this thread. We really need a per-country limit like the US has. Theirs is 7%, I think, which seems about right. Creates actual diversity, not just India #2. So what do Americans think of country caps? Is it a good system that limits cultural clash problems? Is it inefficient? The U.S. essentially has country caps due to how we process visa, green card, and citizenship applications. This is why people from India and China can take up to 10 years to get a green card, and people from Germany or Japan can get theirs in 1 to 2 years. LMAO at up to 10 years. The current wait for India is estimated at 60 years. The reason this issue exists is because we actually don't have a country cap for H-1B, so a lot of Indians are in the U.S. but stuck in immigration purgatory for decades. No other country should model this system. I'm not against country caps generally speaking, but the way we've implemented them borders on inhumane. I agree with the criticism, but inhumane is rather hyperbolic. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not a fan either. Particularly with skilled immigration like H-1B visas, I think we want basically anyone that's willing to come with an in-demand skill set. Education. Get in line is inhumane. We get shit for immigration being a challenge while people worship places like Japan where it's insane to become a citizen. China as well. Pretty much all of developed East Asia. It's also extremely hard for Germany too, and they are the grand champion of America. Bad Germany is difficult, but it's not really comparable to the wait that Indian and Chinese citizens have for a US green card. I've been stuck in immigrant limbo in Germany. It sucks, but it was resolved in 2 years rather than 10 plus. Germany was recently the second most immigrated to country in the world behind the USA. Get in line. As a concept is fine. The actual way we are currently managing this line is inhumane to Indians specifically. Oh, you're from Malaysia? Get in this short line over here. Oh, you're from India? Get in this gigantic long line and hope you might make it to the front before you die. These people are already here because there is no country cap for H-1B, and we desperately need qualified tech workers and other highly skilled people. So we aren't preventing them from coming here. But then they can be here for decades. As of now, many of them will probably die before they reach the front of the line. And they are here but in limbo. That is inhumane. We need to have a policy that either lets them stay or sends them home, but instead we are taking advantage of them. It's on us to have a policy that is fair and sensible. And this hurts us, by the way. We need these people. Having a highly skilled engineer or PhD scientist return to India hurts us in addition to hurting them. We aren't accomplishing anything here that benefits anyone, and the system has to change. When the line is 30 years or more, where if something happens with your job, such as the company going bankrupt or layoffs happening, you get sent back to your home country and have to restart the process all over. Yeah, there should be limits, but we shouldn't treat the people we allow over here like expendables. Yeah, but it's an artificial cap. It's a problem caused by a stupid system that we made. We used to be able to handle way more in the past. When was that? Immigration numbers are higher than ever. Ellis Island had an extra 300K more per year at its peak. Early 1900s, preventing the vast majority of immigrants coming from one country is only one benefit. It also makes the immigration pool more closely reflect global immigration trends and encourages diversity. Not having a country cap seems kinda weird to me. Same. To me, it's more about making sure small countries also have a chance at immigration, not just the most common counties. We are going to only let in X number of people a year. No one on the globe has unlimited immigration. Capping countries with high demand ensures more diversity of immigration. It's one reason I love the diversity lottery. For some stable, underrepresented countries, you can just enter a lottery and get a green card. One of my old bosses did it. She just entered the lottery from Morocco and won. She basically woke up one day and told her family, "Well, looks like I'm American now." She moved here, got a job, learned English, married an American, got a better job, had 3 kids, got an even better job. Her brothers and sisters are kind of jealous and want to come here, but it's not easy if you don't win the lottery. She can sponsor her brothers and sisters to come to America. I think it's more that they now have settled lives in Morocco. Like the diversity lottery, as it injects randomness into the system and exemplifies the way in which America has a chaos well done to it. My favorite element? Agree with it 100%. I moved to Canada. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. There is way less diversity in Canada. In certain areas, it's just Indians. It doesn't feel diverse at all. America has its issues, but I felt like it was so much more diverse. I met people from all over the world there. Lots of immigrants from lots of different parts. Although in the US, More and more of immigrant groups do tend to treat whole states as their targeted destinations. For example, Somalian immigrants target moving to Minnesota, Cuban immigrants target moving to Florida, Filipino immigrants target moving to Nevada, California. So we have a disparity between states where nearly everyone you meet are white folks. Wyoming, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and states where a significant chunk of the residents have family members in another country. Texas, Hawaii, Washington. Heck, even in states where there are huge cities, it's not really that diverse. Illinois, outside of Chicago, and upstate New York are not really the target destinations for new immigrants coming to the U.S. due to lower job opportunities and less ethnic diversity in the first place. I know that the Somalis started moving to MN because a charity group there would help them, but goddamn, that's gotta be a shock due to the weather. First time visited Minneapolis, St. Paul, and I already knew about the Somalia population, but flying into MSP when it's like 20 degrees and all the workers are Somalian, and I'm thinking, damn, y'all showed up here and had to be like, wait, WTF? Nearly everyone you meet are white folks. Wyoming, Nebraska, Oklahoma. Nebraska and Oklahoma are a little under 65% non-Hispanic white. It amazes me how so many people don't realize how large some of the metro areas in U.S. flyover states are. Omaha, Tulsa, and OKC are sizable and fairly diverse, not to mention the large native population in Oklahoma. OKC is majority-minority at this point, and the public schools are probably only 15% non-Hispanic white. That's always been the case, though. Swedish people moved to Minnesota in the late 1800s and early 1900. Yeah, pretty much every black person you will meet in Boston is Haitian. 9/10. Hey now, make that 8/10. 1/10 are Afro-Brazilian. I can't believe it. How could I forget the Cape Verdeans? Yep, here in Minnesota we get a lot of refugee waves. Somali, Hmong, Indian, Mexican, etc. Great, though if you like ethnic food, which we have an excellent food scene, especially if you like Asian and African cuisine. Do you not want people to settle amongst communities that are more familiar to them, amongst their family and friends? It's important for easing the transition. It's how all our European ancestors did when they got here. It's why Chicago had Polish and Irish and Italian neighborhoods. Not only is it just Indians, but it's Indians from one specific region of India, Omao. Yeah, I grew up in both countries, and it does seem that Indians are more integrated into society and Western norms in America than in Canada. But also there is the consequence that you have skilled Indian migrants with degrees from U.S. universities in a 20-year green card backlog. I'm Indian American. My parents immigrated in the 90s, and I was born in the Northern Virginia suburbs, where there are a ton of Indian people. I personally grew up between both India and the U.S., constantly moving between both countries during my childhood. I agree that country caps should definitely be a thing because I've had Indian roommates myself who don't see the point in assimilating into American culture. For a lot of people, the U.S. is just a place to make money, and integrating into American culture seems unnecessary, even when actively trying to become a green card holder and eventually a citizen. We really are not. Indian American children tend to be more general American culturally, but the parents who immigrated to the U.S. as adults are certainly not. Our parents tend to only self-ghettoize themselves in areas exclusively where other Indians live. I grew up in Canada in the 90s and moved to the U.S. in the 2000s. I can't imagine why Canada doesn't have country caps for immigration either. The West is built on diversity. It's a disaster up there right now with once country, India, dominating the country's immigration. Seriously, why?